Hey, Jed Gottlieb from the Boston Herald here. I am with Barrett Anderson, local blues and rock guitarist. Although you just won the Boston Music Award for blues artist, do you call yourself a blues artist? Like, what? How do you define it to people?
It's a good question. I spent a long time and have spent many hours trying to figure out how you define this music. I think of blues as kind of a language that you speak, and that's certainly the vocabulary that I know, and the language that I use is blues. Having said that, I think there's certainly a lot of Beatles and Rolling Stones and kind of influences that are not straight blues that kind of inform my music. I spent some time down in North Mississippi and realizing that there's not, it's an area where there's not as much of a conscientious identification of, this is blues and it begins with a capital B and it does this, and this, and that's what blues is. There's much more of just, we play what we play and it is what it is, and, people come out and they dance to it and they get down and they have fun, and I think if you look at Muddy Waters or Howlin' Wolf or, Magic Sam or Freddie King, or these guys who have identified, who have defined what we come to identify as blues, they weren't setting out to play in a genre, I feel. They were playing what they played. Blues, there's a nice apprenticeship to it, and people want to pass it along. So I had very encouraging parents. My father played the guitar, and I'm sure that's the reason that I wanted to play the guitar in the first place. But he would, I grew up about an hour and a half west of here in a small town by the Quabbin, and when I started getting into the blues, my dad would, drive me into the city. Sometimes we'd come into Cambridge, in the morning, drive back out to Petersham where I grew up, drive back into Cambridge later that night, and there were a lot of great clubs and it was that kind of late 90s period where there was a national blues scene. People were really touring. There was the House of Blues in Harvard Square. And I was just an inquisitive kid going out to shows and really trying to connect with people. Well, I'm gonna hold you all night long. With those pretty eyes closed, I see them in the morning. Bubbles dance with me, take my hand. I say, well, I'm a good man, I'm a good man. This morning, jinx all around around my bed. I said I woke up this morning, baby, a jinx all around my bed. Been thinking about you, baby, I'd like to kill me dead. I've been broken down for your love, been on the ground for your love, been tossed around for your love, been broken down for your love. Long before I could, I knew you.